So the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend was just an off one for Red Bull. The team simply weren't on form like they have been for the rest of the season, with Max Verstappen coming home in 6th and Sergio Perez in 7th. But Verstappen was caught up in 2 bits of controversy during the race, and now he's opened up more about them. But before we begin, if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more Formula 1 content, and you can follow me on Twitter at James_Formula1, and there'll be a link in the description. So the first thing that happened was with Lewis Hamilton. The two last year were caught up in an epic title fight, with them having crashed 3 times while banging wheels on multiple occasions during their many battles. But with Mercedes simply being off the pace for 95% of 2022, we've barely seen Verstappen and Hamilton go wheel to wheel. But since the USA, Mercedes have had a car that can take on the Red Bull, and that's thanks to new aero upgrades, as well as sorting out their bouncing problems. And in Brazil, Hamilton and Verstappen found themselves going wheel to wheel as they battled over second place. In a nutshell, Verstappen was really late on the brakes and managed to go round the outside going into turn 1. But Lewis held it on the inside, and going into turn 2, they were side by side and the pair made contact. Hamilton suffered minimal damage, but Verstappen came off worse with damage to his front wing, and as a result had to pit. The incident went to the stewards, and Max was deemed at fault and given a 5-second time penalty. Now following the race, Hamilton simply said you know how it is with Max, but he went into further detail later on when asked if he had concerns over Verstappen's racing. He was quoted by GP fans as saying, "I don't have any concerns, it's natural when you have the success and numbers on your chest that you become a bit of a target, but it's okay, it's nothing I haven't dealt with before." But Verstappen believed Hamilton could have done more to avoid the incident, and as a result, it ruined Lewis's chances of winning the race. He was quoted by Racing News 365 as saying, "I went around the outside into turn 1, I just felt that as soon as I was going next to him, he had no intention to leave me space. I thought, okay, we don't need space, and we're just going to collide. I thought after last year, we maybe forget about it, we can finally race." I mean, I was not upset, but if you ask me would I do it again, absolutely. Now following the crash, it left Max right down the order, and after making his way back through the field, that's when the second bit of controversy came with his teammate. So Perez wasn't on good tyres towards the end of the race, and found himself slipping down the order, and when Verstappen came up behind him on better tyres, he was allowed to overtake in an attempt to attack Fernando Alonso and Charles Leclerc ahead. But this was on the proviso that if Max failed to pass, he'd let Perez back through. Max failed to pass the cars in front, but refused to give the position back. Max said he had his reasons for doing so on the radio, and Perez said he was disappointed after everything he's done for him in the past, such as moving out of the way when asked to do so on multiple occasions, and playing a big role in Max winning in Abu Dhabi last year. Now Perez needs those points to help him beat Charles Leclerc to second in the standings, and instead of going into the last race ahead, the Mexican is tied on points with him. And speaking about his decision, Max was quoted by the BBC as saying, "I understand from Checo's side he's disappointed, but I also gave my reasons why I didn't do it, about something that happened in the past. It's not necessary to talk about it, but it is important that as a team we talked about it." Now according to the race, it's understood that this was to do with Perez's Monaco crash earlier this year. He shunted the car exiting Portier, which stopped Max completing his last qualifying lap. And as a result, Perez started ahead of Max in the race and went on to win. Now track position is everything in Monaco given how hard it is to overtake. So qualifying in ways is more important than the race, and Verstappen expressed his frustration after qualifying at the time. Now Max didn't deny that his decision in Brazil had to do with what happened in Monaco, and even smiled when asked about it by Sky Sports. Now it's impossible to prove whether Perez crashed on purpose or not in Monaco, but as the race says, if that incident is what prompted the act of retribution, Verstappen clearly thinks it was intentional, for he wouldn't have done that just to get back at Perez for making a genuine mistake. Now even though Red Bull is basically built around Max, Perez has helped him a lot, and we've seen in the past other champions having to give in to a team order. For example, in Hungary 2017, Hamilton let Bottas through after being allowed to pass if he could get the cars in front, which he didn't. And even during their tense title fight in 2016, Nico Rosberg let Hamilton through in Monaco after struggling in the wet. Now even though Max has his reasons, he's not bigger than the team, and I feel he shouldn't have disobeyed the team order. You know, he might need more favours from Perez going forward, and following this the Mexican might not be so willing. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But guys, that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.